everyone. It's Allison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Allison, and I'm just going to go live on all my streaming sources here. So that looks good. That looks good. I will just double check, but I think we should be good. On Border Buddy. Just refreshing until I can see myself. There we go. And just see if we got any sound. And we seem to, so we're good. Okay, I just have to wait for people to jump on and we'll get started. We're going to be using the Perfectly Pears stamp set again, and the dies and the products from Painterly Pears Suite Collection. So this is that time where it's kind of like dead space, but eventually people will pop on and then we'll get started. There's Denise. Hi, good afternoon, Denise. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit over here. Thank you, friend, for joining me. I'm going to actually move myself over here and get sorted for our demo today. Things are really odd on my streaming today. First of all, every so often the camera will be really far away, even though it's really close to my desk. I'm going to try and just bring it down a titch. Let's see if that helps. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. Hi, Diane. How are you? Nice to see ya. So you guys are on my Facebook page or YouTube. Denise's case, thank you. And then nobody's watching me in the Border Buddy group. That's okay. I have the hiccups, you guys. And unless someone wants to scare me, I'm not quite sure how we're going to get rid of it. But I don't know. Let's get started. So Perfectly Pears, which is part of the Painterly Pears suite from the July 2025 online exclusives. Well, thanks, Denise. We've got the dies that go with the stamps. You can stamp the images and cut them out with the dies, or you can use a lot of the dies to cut out images directly from the designer series paper. Hello, Mary from Ireland. You made it back. Nice to see you. Hi, Keisha. How are ya, friend? Boy, that tsunami warning was a little bit spooky last night, wasn't it? I went to bed thinking, oh my gosh, I hope everyone's going to be safe on the island. But it looks like we escaped it. So thank goodness. It was a bit too close to home. Okay, so class coming on August. Oh my goodness, we're going to be August in a few days. August 23rd, 10 a.m. on a Facebook. So it's an exclusive Facebook group. So you can join from anywhere in the world, even Ireland, if you want. The people that don't live in Canada will just purchase a PDF and cut their cards themselves. But if you live in Canada, you're going to get all the consumable products for to make 8 cards, 4 designs, 2 of each. You're going to get half a pack of this gorgeous designer series paper. Hi, Mo. Beautiful. So you're going to get 6 double-sided sheets that are 12 by 12. Okay, so that's one side, and then here's the other side. This is my favorite other side. This one here. I used it all up, though. And you're going to get half a roll of the Mossy Meadow and Gold trim and a full package of low-profile sparkle dots. So that's your goodie bag. And then you're going to, as I said, you'll get a PDF and you'll be invited to an exclusive crafting morning with my friend Ange McKay and I. So just, this is really crooked, isn't it? Oop. Gosh, sorry guys, I'm trying to fix that. Hi, Nancy over there in my group. Nice to see you. Okay, let's get started on this card. Now, I did not make this card up yet. We're kind of making it. Ozzy's funeral, yeah. I saw some of that from Birmingham, right? Yeah. And you're not a feelings person. I know. I feel that way too today, Keisha. I feel a little kind of unhappy and all that, but I do feel kind of low key. I will say that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start with a piece of Petal Pink. I've cut it 11 by 4 1/4, and we've scored it at 4 1/2. So this is the hot dog, I would say, versus the hamburger fold. And what I want to do is I want to identify a front and a back. So on my front, I want to cut off. I gotta get my ruler. Just a second, guys. Gotta get my ruler because I've already done it ahead of time. I'm gonna cut off 1 3/4. Okay, so I'm gonna put my score line at 1 3/4 on here, and then I'm gonna cut this off. Okay, so then I've got a back of a card and this flap, and I got this little piece left. So I'm gonna cut a 1 3/4 inch piece. Now you could cut it a different size actually if you wanted. They don't have to be equal, but I'm gonna make mine equal. We do have that. If you're a demonstrator, if you're Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we got not that long ago, like maybe an hour ago. Oof, look at this, 2 hours ago. Sorry, guys. Gosh, we got to see the sneak peek of tons of new product, which we're excited about. Customers will be able to see it in September, and we can order it though starting next week. So we're kind of excited. Just trying to get a nice crease there. And I might be going against. There is a way that you should, that when you scored something, there is a way that yeah, that's the way where it sits a little bit better. So we are going to put this card back together. So stay tuned. Okay. So I'm going to grab a piece of our gorgeous designer series paper. Now this does not have to be cut at 2 3/4, but because I had so much, I thought I might as well use it. Okay. Although I am starting to think about and see when I'm doing something, I then think I'm going to change it. So sorry, guys. I'm going to add a piece of basic white on the inside because then we have something to write on when we send this card. So I'm going to cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. Then this piece I'm going to cut. Let me just see. I can't remember how big an opening I'm going to end up with. I'm going to end up with a 2-inch opening. So I think 2 1/4 is plenty for this. Let's just trim that off. And then we'll have sort of a place to write, you know, what we want to write to a person. At least your name. Okay. So let's glue that to the inside. So this is just cut 1/4 inch smaller all around, right? So there we go. Okay, then I want to take my piece, my designer series piece. We've cut that to 2 1/4 by 4. And I just want to make sure that when I put all this back together, that is going to show through, and it is. So I'll just, I'm pretty sure I can just kind of eyeball this. And it'll be okay. She says, since when is me eyeballing anything or you guys? Just saying. Okay, so that's what we've got. Now, for the 2 flaps, I want to add some DSP. So I've grabbed these 2. These are cut to 1. Yeah, 1. No, 1 1/2. I lied. 1 1/2 to 4. Okay, I'll double check. Yep. And we'll just glue those on the 2 flaps. I wanted something, obviously, that wasn't going to clash with my other designer series paper. Okay. All right. So we've sort of got the good thing we have a sneak peek of the mini coming up as a perk of joining Stampin' Up! And joining my team. Yes, we do, Keisha. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm in a real ugh today. That's right. So if you're not a demonstrator and you live in Canada, I'd love for you to join my team of demonstrators. The links are always on my videos. But when you do, you can see all those beautiful new products right away, and you can order them next week in a pre-order. So just saying. When that in color special, the 15% off the 2025 to 2027 in colors, you'll be able to get those at the same time you're ordering those pre-orders. So yay. All right. I have got the designer series paper, which we've used it quite a few times. I'm just going to actually trim out these images so I can sort of cut them out at the same time. So I've got my big pair.
if you guys don't know what we're talking about in terms of the tsunami, there was last time I heard it was an 8.8 on the Richter scale earthquake in the ocean off the coast of Russia. And in British Columbia, not only do we have earthquakes to kind of go, oh, there might be an earthquake, we have had tsunamis. The last one that was large enough to kind of make us sit up was quite a few years ago. I'm going to say 30 or 40, I can't remember. Anyway, all along the west coast of Vancouver Island was in a tsunami watch last night, and also right into kind of the harbor, Victoria Harbor. So that's pretty scary because you guys have seen, you know, tsunami movies and tsunami newscasts in the past. So it was rather like, what? What are we doing? But it didn't come to fruition for anyone on the north, the west coast of British Columbia. So yay. Okay, so I'm going to use stylish shapes. You know how much I love stylish shapes. And I've got, this is the largest circle. And I'm going to cut it out of basic white. Actually, you know what? I already cut one out. So you guys know how to do this, right? I'm just going to use the one I cut out earlier. Like I said, I haven't made the card up. I've just kind of gathered components and I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. Okay, so just fair warning. Okay, so let's cut these out. I use repositionable tape so that these don't move. My daughter did, I mean, she must have texted me when she got up this morning. She lives in Ontario, to say tsunami didn't come, tsunami okay. So yeah, they did mention on the news, if you watch the Canadian news, they mentioned that we were in danger and the sirens went off, I think. But then they focused more on Hawaii and Japan, Russia, and Alaska, and then down the western coast of the United States. So they didn't really mention us on US or even BBC. But we got mentioned on our own locals and national news, so I guess, you know, that's what counts because most of us would be watching that news anyway. I guess, Keisha, they don't send out a emergency warning. I've had them before for severe weather, like the atmospheric river and stuff, but they send you one because you live on that side of where it would be? I'm not sure. You have to let me know. Okay, guys, so I've got my little bits and bobs here, and I've got my circle. Now, I could add some color to my circle, but I don't think I'm going to. Let me just wait a second here. I just have to see how I'm going to lay this all out. I think it's going to be like this. Kind of like that. Yeah, that looks good. I don't think I need anything else. Okay, let's glue our little stem and our leaf to the top of our pear. I meant to look up if we had outdoor. Yeah, I don't know if you do. Certainly Tofino does. I know that. I know Tofino and Out There does. And the model mock-ups of where this was going to end up was kind of frightening, to tell you the truth. Like it was coming all the way inland, if it had happened. Keisha, all the way, like Port Alberni it looked like. And that just was like, what? Miles and miles in. But as I said, we're very fortunate. I don't know how fortunate they were in other places. I haven't really checked it out. I did see some stuff from Russia, the shaking and stuff, but I don't know how much they would share with the world, really. Being kind of secretive people or government. There we go. So I'm going to stamp thank you in Old Olive right there. Okay. Then I'm going to glue my pear. I'll be really careful. Oh, that I don't put glue where I don't want it, right? So now I want it there. And then I can kind of, oops, hold that in place because you know it doesn't go glue down fast right away, right? Do that. And then I think I can put a little dab of glue right there. And then the rest of it will be kind of a free flow. There we go. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for now. Now, we want to adhere this. So we're going to line this up. And I want this to be straight. Heavens forbid. Okay, then we're going to just kind of do it like that. All right. Now, I have a very short area to put glue on. So I'm going to grab my repositionable tape. I'm going to line it up with the top of this piece. Just plop that down so that the edge of this tape goes to the edge of here. And that way, when I take it off, I'll know exactly where to put my glue. See how confident I said that? I'll know exactly where to put my glue. We shall see. All right. Move that up, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So the edge of my tape is going to be at the edge of my flap. Okay, then I'm going to take this off because I don't want to, and I'm going to flip it over. So now I can see how much glue I can put on here without it affecting. Oops. Oops. See, I am really out of sorts today. Not sure why. Let's move it over a tidge. That looks like it should be good. Take this off. Oop, take this off. No, 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 shouldn't have done that. Oh boy. Oh, didn't glue. Excellent. There's a break. I love my white glue, and I rarely get glue on my fingers, but today. Oh, hi, Ellie. How are you? Peel this off. Haven't missed much. Okay, so that should be good, right? Let's have a look. Okay, now, if for some reason, gosh, that's one thing I love about white glue, but it doesn't glue down right away, so you have time to kind of fiddle with it, but at the same time, it can be not ready for a bit. Now, I have put some glue where I don't want it up there, right? That's okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my embossing buddy, and I'm just going to tap some of that on that glue. And then it'll take the stickiness away. And then later, I can go in and probably just erase that with an adhesive eraser. Okay. All right, so that's what we've got so far, which I now realize I wanted to actually use something for my saying, but that's okay. Now I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on this little piece that we've cut out. So like I said at the beginning, if you don't want to use your DSP for this, you can stamp the images and then add them on. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Is there something that goes with thank you that I could add? Oh, the word friend. Don't know where I'd put it, but we're going to just hang in there. We're going to hang in there. Moving this down, it draws your eye down a bit, which is nice. If I put that up higher, I could have put friend underneath, but I didn't, so we're moving on. Moving on. We could also put some of that gorgeous ribbon on the top. That would be nice. Let's do that. See, there's always a way to jazz these up. So let's get our ribbon. Give myself a little bit more there. I'm going to tie it towards the left side. This is a nice ribbon. I know it looks like it's stiff. It is a bit stiff, but it's not so stiff that you won't get a nice bow. Now you got me curious, Keisha, about whether we have tsunami sirens down, but I don't know. It would have to be a very weird tsunami to come through and around and then back in to get us. It would have to have a very flexible wave. Let's trim that off. Okay, now, don't like that. Don't like it. So I'm going to just tie it again. My fingers are sticky. Don't tell Ange, my friend, that my hands are sticky, because then she just laugh at me. But 99.9% of the time, I do not get glue on my hands. That's better. Here, it looks better. Okay. All right. This camera is so close to my table and yet so far away from what I want to show you. That's driving me nuts. All right. Let's add some of those gems. What are these? Gems? Dots. Sparkle dots. Okay. I'm going to grab this one here, which I think is kind of like a mossy meadow. Doop. And then is anybody here a soccer fan, like a professional soccer fan? If you are, I'll tell you some phenomenal news. If you're not, then you won't know what I'm talking about. I'll share it anyway. My son and I, in any kind of international events, have always pulled for Germany. Now, this is before Canada had a viable men's team. We have a viable women's team, and we always pull for them. But for years, going back years and years, we're German fans, Deutschland. And one of the best players that plays for Germany is Thomas Müller. And he is joining the Vancouver Whitecaps. I know he's at the end of his career, but that's okay. We're still pretty pumped. Sort of like when Messi joined Miami. So that was some news to cheer us up, Keisha. Okay, so there we go. I feel like it's missing something. I don't know what it's missing. I'll look at it later and figure it out. But then, of course, when we open this, we've got that free flow, right? Shoop. And then you still got space to write in there, okay? All right. So this was based on this card. Let me show you. This is it's like a spanner card. That's what it is, or bridge card, whatever you want to call it. I think this is called Thoughtful Gardens, right, you guys? It's an online exclusive. You can find it online. You can stamp it and then use the masks. So that's the idea behind it. Okay. Hi, Kathy, over there on my group. Nice to see you. Okay, so I know why all of you demonstrators are joining me. You're all looking at the catalog, right? The brand new catalog. Thanks, Keisha. So here we go. Let's just go through our samples. We've got this one. We've made that on a live. You can find the video for most of these on my YouTube channel. I actually have a playlist called Painterly Pears. I have this one. I like this one. I like the layout. So again, you can find that. Make that card. Then remember this one, you guys. I'd originally made it in the portrait, traditional, but then I flipped it and we did it live to the landscape. So you can find my lives for that one too. And then here's a few more. This is a very nice, simple design. This one here is a bit misleading because you're thinking, how is this Painterly Pears? Well, those flowers are from the stamp set. There. And then just cut out with the dies. Okay. Like that. And then this one is the, oh gosh, it is called the fault line. Ooh, that's not on a good day with earthquakes happening. I guess we have to watch out for that another aftershocks. Getting a little too close to home, these earthquakes. And then we have this one. My sister Ellie made me this one and sent it. Love it. Okay, so those are some pair cards. Make sure you sign up for that class. And here is the one we made today. And I do not like that it's so far away. So I'm going to move this down as far as I can without it touching the table practically. Let's straighten this out. There, is that a better look? Can you sort of see that a bit better? Hopefully. Okay. Back over here, back over here, back over here. All right. I think I said hi to everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I will try and be in more sorts. My next live is Sunday at 10 a.m. and we will see you then. Until then, I hope you get some crafting in. Happy stamping, you guys. Well, I'm trying to end. Don't want to end. So try again. Stream.